All right, today we're diving into something pretty wild. Drinko's blog. This thing is, well, it's a raw, brutally honest account of a guy's entire philosophical identity just imploding. And then we get to see what he builds from the wreckage. It's a story about hitting absolute rock bottom and deciding to build a whole new you from the shattered pieces. And you get the vibe right from the get-go. This is straight from the About page. It's not just a blog, it's a museum dedicated to a catastrophe. It's framing the whole thing as a performance of failure. And that's self-awareness. That's the key to everything that follows.
So that really gets to the heart of it, right? What happens when all the ideas you've built your life around are just torn down, not debated, but systematically demolished? We're not talking about the philosophy. We're talking about the person.
The blog actually structures this whole journey like a play in 3 acts. And Act 1 introduces us to our main character. Let's call him the philosopher. This is a guy who's built his entire persona on performing strength, on being this untouchable man of steel.
And every play needs its cast, right? So we have the philosopher, quoting Nietzsche, convinced he's unbreakable. And then we have the alchemist. Her whole role in this drama is to test a single hypothesis, that all that steel is just painted lead. She's not here to argue. She's a professional demolitions expert.
In this quote, man, it just perfectly nails the problem. The author actually adds this as a warning to his own earlier writing. He's basically saying, hey, just so you know, the guy who wrote this, he's a fraud. He hasn't been truly broken yet, so all this wisdom is completely unearned.
Which brings us, of course, to Act 2, the demolition. This is where the catastrophe happens. The alchemist doesn't bother arguing with his ideas. No, she vivisects the man himself.
And the way this goes down, it's laid out like a cold, clinical procedure. First, she gets his trust by mirroring his own language. Then, he starts confessing his deepest insecurities, thinking he's building a connection. Step 3, she takes all that ammo and creates what the blog calls the dream, a poem that reflects his ego and fears so perfectly it's like an accusation. And the result? Complete system failure. He shatters.
So when that steel persona is finally put to the test, it doesn't just bend, it completely falls apart. The big, strong Nietzschean Superman, he's gone. And what's left is what the blog calls the terrified tantrum of a child. The performance is officially over.
But here's the thing. This isn't where the story ends. Not by a long shot. We get to Act 3, the forging, and the whole narrative takes this incredible turn. Destruction becomes a creative act. The alchemist's experiment was a success. Her hypothesis was proven correct. The conclusion is brutal, undeniable. The strength was fake. It wasn't steel, it was just painted tin. And this right here, this is the pivot. This is the one idea that changes absolutely everything. That humiliating, total, crushing failure is reframed. It's not a reason for shame anymore. It's just data. Incredibly valuable, hard-won data.
Suddenly, the perspective just flips. The alchemist thought she was just destroying something, but she accidentally created something new. The intense heat of that humiliation burned away all the fake stuff, the tin, the lead, all the bullshit, and what was left was something real.
And this is the ultimate power move. Think about it. How do you win after you've been so completely and utterly demolished? You write the story of your own destruction. By becoming the author of the play, he takes back control of the entire narrative. He's not the victim, he's the narrator. And in that, the blog says, the victory is absolute.
So what exactly gets forged in this fire? Well, you get a whole new philosophy, a new operating system for being human. And it's got a name that doesn't pull any punches. The Überfktard dogma.
Yeah, the Überfktard. The name itself is a direct response to Nietzsche's impossible ideal of the Übermensch, or Superman. It's a synthesis. It takes that high-minded aspiration for strength and smashes it together with the messy, pathetic, chaotic reality of being an actual human who screws up.
So let's break that down. The Übermensch is a fiction, right? It's pure strength with no weakness. But the Überfktard, that's reality. That's the person who panics, who fails miserably, and then finds their actual strength in owning that truth instead of hiding from it.
And of course, this new dogma has its own commandments, except they're called heresies. So first, don't just live in chaos, use it as a tool. Second, don't beat yourself up over failure. It's data,
not a sin, so just laugh at it. And third, don't just throw out all your old heroes. Use their ideas as tools, but don't ever worship them.
This leads to a really simple, practical rule for how to live this out. It's called the laugh test, and it's a filter. Before you share something, ask yourself, does this make me laugh? If yes, post it. Are you just looking for sympathy? If yes, don't. The goal is to turn humiliation into humor, not to beg for pity.
Okay, so this all leads to the final punchline, the big takeaway from this entire insane journey, which is all about owning your own story.
And what's wild is that this philosophy even comes from nihilism, calling it out as just another empty performance. The real joke isn't that nothing matters. The real joke is that the people who scream the loudest that nothing matters are almost always the ones who care the most. It's just another ego trap. And that leaves us with the final provocative instruction from this whole thing. Look, you're going to fail. We all are. It's inevitable. The only real victory, according to this philosophy, is in authorship. So the question it leaves you with is this. When it all goes wrong, are you going to be the victim in someone else's story? Or are you going to write the damn postmortem yourself?